All right, meanwhile, let's go out on the phone right now. Donald Trump, who is running for President of the United States, joins us from somewhere. Good morning to you, Mr. Trump.
Good morning.
We want to ask you, because Garrett was just showing some highlights from last night. I know you've gone after Hillary Clinton regarding her email situation in Benghazi in the past. Listen to what she says about the big banks, which she has taken a lot of money from. Suddenly, they're bad.
We got to keep a very close watch on the big banks. If they pose a systemic risk to our economy, they can be and should be broken up. And I have said no bank is too big to fail and no executive too powerful to jail.
What do you think about that, given the fact that she has taken, we know of, $600,000 from Goldman Sachs? Is she a hypocrite that she says big banks are bad?
Well, I actually think it's very funny because when you watch and you see the game of politics, I've always been in politics, but now I'm on it from a different angle and a different side, and the hypocrisy on so many accounts, whether it's her or others. They're all taking money from big banks, but I'm not. I'm the only one that's self-funding my campaign. I self-fund, so I'll do the right thing. But these people all take money from big banks in one form or another. And some, I mean, in her form, she is, you see her in New York having dinner with the bankers all the time. I mean, it's ridiculous. But she's got to, one way or the other, I guess she's got to show she's a little bit like Bernie. She has to go a little bit left, and she keeps going further and further left. I don't know if it's going to work or not. She's got other problems, too. You know, she's got her email problems, which she can't quite figure out.
Well,
and you ask yourself, why, on the emails, why did she do it? What was the purpose? You know, I mean, to go through this, what was the purpose? But
control.
I guess. It's so ridiculous.
Well, I mean, when you watched the debate last night, everything was about Wall Street, Wall Street, Wall Street. Do you blame Wall Street for tanking the economy?
Well, you know, I deal with Wall Street, and I can tell you that Wall Street and the banks are controlled by the regulators 100%. You know, the big bankers that make $30 and $40 million a year, which is mostly to make settlements and give billions of dollars to the government. But these big bankers, many of whom I know, are, I mean, they don't have the power. The regulators have the power. They don't have the power to loan money in many cases. The regulators have the power. Everything they do, I mean, it must be a lousy job, to be honest with you. But everything they do, they have to go back to government and have it checked off.
Well, that is true, more and more so. I want to ask you about the ground game in Ohio. You know, there's some new polls out that show that Rubio is climbing in the polls after the Iowa caucuses. There are a couple polls out there that show him in second place right now. So what is your strategy to take on Marco Rubio in New Hampshire?
Well, we've had good poll results, but, you know, it doesn't matter. The only poll that counts is going to be very soon, right? A couple of days, on the 9th.
Yeah.
And we are leading by quite a bit. We have a poll that came out yesterday where I'm actually much higher than even that. I mean, this is a nice poll that you're showing up on the screen, but I have a couple that are really good. I don't believe any of them, to be honest with you. All we do is work.
So you don't believe them. So how do you do it? What are you doing? One of our folks on the ground said that they don't see a discernible-sized staff of yours on the ground in New Hampshire. So if that is the case, how do you do it? How do you get your folks out to the polls?
Well, I think we have a good staff. We'll find out. I mean, we'll find out soon enough. We have a lot of people. We have tremendous numbers of volunteers up there. A lot of people want to see us win. We're going to make America great again. That's the theme. And we're going to find out. I mean, I have a very, very capable group of people. You know Corey, he's a professional. He lives up there.
Your manager.
Yeah, and we have a lot of people that have traveled from all over the country to go up and help out. In the end, it's really, to a large extent, it's the candidate. But get out the vote is very important. There's no question about it.
So, Donald Trump, it's not true, the report out there that you were urged in Iowa to get people on the ground, but you didn't want to pay for it, and that you're doing the same thing again in New Hampshire?
No, that's not the truth. No, that's not the truth. Most of these people are free. They come as, you know, they honestly, volunteers. It's not a question you pay. They're volunteers. No, we paid top dollar, frankly, in Iowa. And I had a lot of people, but you saw what went on. A lot of things went on, and, you know, I came in second. By the way, I got more votes in Iowa than anybody in the history of the Republican caucus, except for the one.
Yep.
And, you know, had things been normal, a lot of things would have changed there. I got a lot of votes in Iowa, and I came in second. It's sort of interesting. I came in second by a lot. Rubio, and very close to first, Rubio came in third, and everyone's saying what a great performance he put on. They didn't say something. Me? Yeah.
Because you were under your poll numbers, he was over.
Let's take a look,
whatever.
Mr. Trump. Let's take a look. Yesterday, you were in Exeter, New Hampshire. A number of reporters took some pictures. You had, according to them, you had cars lined up on the streets and on the roads out of town. Also, at one point, this is one of the images from one of the reporters on the scene there. Also, at one point, there was a heckler, and you shot back this. Listen.
Okay. Oh, illegal immigrant backbone of our country? I don't think so, darling. I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. They're not the backbone. Let me just tell you something. You know what the backbone of our country? People that came here, and they came here legally. People that came to this country legally, and they worked their ass off, and they've made the country great. That's the backbone. That's the backbone.
That was something else, wasn't it?
Well, it was amazing because I was talking about illegal immigrants, and she said they're the backbone of the country.
Right.
And I said, that's not the case. So, you know, well, look, you have a lot of people thinking a lot of things. I'm sure she was well-meaning, but it was an amazing rally. And that's what I...
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
illegal
already.
The crowds that we're getting are incredible.
Well, but do those crowds, will they translate into voters next week?
Well, that's the question. I mean, I really don't know. I get the most people. I get the polls that are through the roof. I don't know. I mean, they seem to be, and I think I'll do very well, but they have to get out and vote. If they don't get out and vote, they say, we like Donald Trump, but we didn't get out and vote. We're going to have to see.
Right. Apparently, according to the polls, half the electorate in New Hampshire may still make up their mind in the last...
48% have
something
not
like
made
that.
up their mind yet.
And, of course, there is a debate tonight. Both Mitt Romney
Saturday, right?
and... I think it's
Yeah, the debate is Saturday.
Saturday. Thank you.
That's
Mitt
the
Romney
ABC
and
debate.
Ted Cruz have both suggested that Carly Fiorina, who's not supposed to be on the debate stage, should be included. What do you think about
Well,
including
that would
Ms.
be okay
Fiorina?
with me.
It would be.
Right now, I guess we have 7. It would be certainly okay with me. I know the networks don't want it because there was a qualification requirement, and obviously she didn't require. You know, she didn't get there, but it would certainly be okay with me.
There's a report today in the New York Times that Christie and Jeb Bush are combining forces to take down Rubio. Do you think that's true? Would you join in that? And do you think he is vulnerable as somebody who's in his early 40s, a one-term senator?
Well, I wouldn't join in it. We'll see what happens. I mean, we've got a long way to go. There's a long deal going on here, and I love New Hampshire. I know New Hampshire well because I've been there many times, having nothing to do with politics. I have many friends that live up there. I think that they probably are conspiring. I mean, I've watched Chris go after him, and he goes after him very strongly. So let's see what happens. I mean, it's going to be very interesting. Me, I work myself. I don't worry about other people.
All right, and we'll be watching tomorrow night. Donald Trump, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day
Thank
today.
you.
All right.